Black Eden peered through the yew trees. Nothing more than a scarecrow of shadow and moonlight in the ancient forest. This prey was old, confused, struggling to keep her balance on the filleted network of tree roots. For a seasoned killer like Mac, it was a wretched, defenceless thing to witness, and she didn't even blink as the moon faded and rain fell heavy on her eyelashes. More by fate than any human reason, the old woman had stumbled on the only serviceable trail out of the tangled trees. She'd lost one of her slippers. There were twigs in her hair. She was flinching around like a startled pheasant. Pity would spare her from this night of predators. But there was no pity now. There was only moonlight and monsters. Keeping her eyes fixed on the target, Mac tucked the missing slipper into her belt. The stink of it clung to her like a kitten, crawling her flesh through 2 layers of utility workwear and a sensible vest. With the next swell of wind, Mac slid between the flaking branches and tried not to breathe through her nose. All she could do now was wait out the numerous agonies of impatience as the rain slowed to a tuneless melody, and the old woman tottered away from the squirming dark of the yew wood. Effie Cox raked her hair into an untidy clump, tucking it behind her ears as she walked, always keeping to the chalk trail, always keeping the trees behind her. Along the ancient pathways, granite bones cracked the throat of the sky. A chalk embankment marked the first boundary between the woodland and the Neolithic hill fort. Effie buttoned her pink dressing gown through the wrong holes, catching the final fragments of rain on her oversized glasses as she looked up at the steep incline, breathing like she was at Everest Base Camp and there wasn't even a queue. A courageous 10 minutes worth of stagger, slip later, and Effie was a victim profile in the lunar spotlight. Breathing harder now, hands to her mouth, playing the part. "Oh dear," she said. "This isn't a petrol station." Clouds owned the horizon. Moonlight would last a few more minutes at most. Effie made a show of elderly fidgeting, wrestling her hand under the hem of her nightdress on the pretense of scratching a rash. Torches were barred from the side character field kit, but the bejewelled penlight had made it through on a trinket technicality. Effie chanced another look around, groaning with her knees as she propped the penlight against her foot. A nightingale was singing in the downland pastures, and she let her fingers linger on the chalk and brittle earth. She knew it was coming for her, the scent of summer rain on tarmac, a memory of feathers on her skin. Effie closed her eyes and thought about crochet as the last beaded moment of moonlight ran dry. Darkness took her like a cloak, silent as an owl to a mouse. A child's hand in her hand. "Are we lost, Granny?" There were rules to the game, but those rules came with the player. And the mandolin, well, they always used your own rules against you.